Hello, this is Rachel. I have hamsters, and today I'm gonna show off my Christmas playpen with the help of Little Lemonade here and talk about playpens in general. I get a lot of questions about playpens, so I figured this was a great opportunity to talk through them while I share this footage of Lemonade exploring the Christmas playpen I set up for her and the other hams. And yeah, just address all the questions. So I get a lot of people emailing me or commenting on YouTube videos about playpens. And I figured, you know what? Rather than individually addressing them one by one, it made sense to just talk about it in a video. And maybe it would spark some conversation. So if you have more questions, of course, you can always email me at rachelgothamsters@gmail.com, or you can comment on the video. So lots of ways to reach out to me. So let me just talk about the idea of playpens, why I think playpens are so important. So when you have hamsters, right, they're in their enclosures, they're prey animals, they're naturally going to be usually pretty shy, although there's always the occasional very outgoing hamster. So if you want to get to know your hamster, getting them out of their cage is really the way to do it. I think somebody said this to me, and I don't remember who, and I don't want to take credit for it. It could have been Tony from Rescue Cottage, that when you think about getting to know like another person, if you met someone and you wanted to get to know them, you wouldn't say, hey, let me come over to your house so I can get to know you. No, you would say, let's go somewhere, or come over to my house. So that same etiquette applies with your hamsters. You're not going to say like, hey, I'm going to come into your space and get to know you. That's kind of rude, right? You want to invite them to a space that's neutral, that's fun for both of you, that is rewarding. So like, let's imagine you're going on a coffee date with a new friend. Same thing here. You're going to bring this hamster out, give the hamster some treats. It's going to be fun for both of you. It'll be a nice, relaxing atmosphere with lots of cozy spots, with lots of conversation starters. So you can think of it the same way with a hamster, okay? Socialization's all kind of the same. And when you think about it that way, you also want to make sure that just like bringing a new friend out for coffee, you're going to think about that with a hamster. You want to make sure it's a cozy place, somewhere safe, somewhere that's warm and not drafty or cold. You don't want to leave them alone. That's not going to help get to know them. You want to be there and be present, make sure that they're safe. You want to make sure there's lots of cozy spots for them, so places to hide so they feel safe. You don't want loud noises around, so no blaring TVs, no little kids running around, no other animals. Yes, please be careful with cats and dogs and other prey animals. I know it's like romantic to think of like your hamster and your cat cuddling, but it's just not realistic. Do not expose your hamster to your cat. Keep the door closed when your hamster is out of their cage. And if your hamsters don't live in closed door environment and you have cats or dogs or little kids, if you're going to use a playpen, then you need to do it in a closed door area. Although, now that I say it out loud, honestly, if you have other pets or small kids, keep your hamsters in a closed door room so you keep them safe, okay? Because it's not fair to them to expose them to that kind of stress and pressure. That they don't need that. Nobody needs that. That's not fun. So yeah, think about those same principles. You want to set up your playpen in a nice, safe area, somewhere cozy. You can see it's daylight. Lemonade is out. I brought her out because she asked. I didn't wake her up and make her come out. But the lighting, overhead lighting, is not on in this video. I do have some twinkle lights, so there's like soft lighting and natural light from the window. But I don't turn on the full overhead lights for my hamsters, so they get nice, cozy, romantic lighting, right? And of course, there are always snacks. So the reason I think it's really important to bring your hamsters out is, like I said, I mean, you're not going to get to know them in their cage. And I think for hamsters, they really need, even if they're a little bit apprehensive, they need the push to come out of their cage to sort of open up a little bit, to expand their boundaries. As we all know, adversity is often how we grow, and doing something that we're a little bit afraid of, not a lot afraid of, but a little bit afraid of, is an opportunity for growth, right? So if your hamster is very afraid, does not want to come out, don't make your hamster come out. But if your hamster is like, I'm kind of curious about you, I'm kind of curious to walk in this cup that you're holding for me, this is a great opportunity. Bring them into the playpen, let them explore, watch their behavior, If they start to look nervous, and by nervous I mean they'll get frantic, they're going to start running around, they're going to start looking for escapes, that's when you know it's time for them to come home, okay? So you can see here by Lemonade's behavior, she's not nervous at all. She's exploring, she seems interested, she's nibbling on things. You'll see a relaxed hamster will also do some grooming, so she might go in the sand bath and roll around and, lick her little paws. Those are all signs of a relaxed hamster. A relaxed hamster eats and grooms. A nervous hamster runs around, they'll look for escapes. Okay, so those are like two pretty big differences there. So you want to make sure that your hamster is relaxed because you want this to be a positive experience for them. If it's the first time in a playpen, it might be a really short experience before they start getting really nervous. So it's okay if it lasts 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes. You can slowly build up that time. And you'll notice it more with robos. I think dwarf hamsters tend to do better in a playpen setup. But with robos, you might have, honestly, it might be 30 seconds where they run around, they gather up a lot of seeds, and then all of a sudden they're like running in circles and they're ready to come out. Oh, there's little Dexter. So this was my problem, is I had this playpen set up and then Dexter wanted out. So I did actually set up a second playpen for Dexter, which I shared in a YouTube short if you watched it. So you really want to watch that behavior and don't be discouraged if it's only a minute or two. You're still going to make progress. And if the space is maintained, like if you have a setup like this that you maintain for a month or two, your hamster will start to get to know it and the smells will become, they'll know the smells, they'll know where the hides are, they'll know that there's treats there. So it'll start to be like a fun thing that they look forward to, and slowly those stress signs will kind of start to go away. So I've seen that with my own robos. I'm still working on it with the robos I have here. My personal robos, they only last a few minutes in the playpen right now. But when they're in there, they're happy. They're enjoying it. So that's an important thing. Because you saw Dexter, I think it's important to notate that I only put one hamster in the playpen at a time, always. You never want to mix hamsters together. They're not friends. They don't want to be friends. So one hamster at a time in the playpen. I have had people ask me, can you use the same playpen with multiple hamsters? So as long as your hamsters are healthy, and once you've had a hamster for a couple weeks, they're not going to be exposed to any new illnesses, right? Because they're kind of in an isolated environment. So once they're home from the rescue or the shelter or the pet store or wherever it is they came from, now they're living in a cage by themselves. They don't have any more exposures. So if they did have any illnesses, it would be gone after, let's say a week or two. There shouldn't be anything unsafe about them being in the same space at different times. Sometimes you'll notice the hamsters find this stressful. So after Lemonade was in this playpen, I put Dexter in the playpen, and I could tell that he was a little stressed actually, and he was running around and like smelling like, oh my God, there's been another hamster in here. So I took him out and I put him in a different playpen and just gave it more time. And later in the day, I put him back in this playpen, and he was fine. So I think sometimes the smells they do leave scents behind, and some hamsters you can tell are stressed by it. On the whole, I do not find that happens typically. I've never seen my hamsters really get out of sorts other than that one time, and it's because I had literally just taken Lemonade out and then I right away put Dexter in. So usually there's a break between hamsters, and normally I do not have any issues. Yeah. Another question or maybe comment I get is, oh my gosh, you must have spent a fortune on all this stuff. A lot of it I've had over the years, and most of it is stuff I already have. So those ceramic hides, you can see the mushroom and the strawberry, I already have. I use them in my hamster cages. The green jar I have in the sand bath, I already had that jar from, I don't know, I think someone gave me flowers in it. The Pyrex dish that Lemonade is in the sand bath, that's a pie pan that I had in my kitchen because I haven't made pie in a while. A lot of the stuff I already have, and I just kind of gather it together and try to make some sort of cohesive color palette. I use a lot of things from my kitchen, and a lot of things that I would normally use in my hamster cage, I use here. So I do have some extra hides and all that stuff. The other place you can get low cost items for your playpens. Goodwill, Mercari, Poshmark. If you see, I have a little wooden sort of like Christmas trailer in the background there that I got from Poshmark for a very low price. I think maybe I paid $10 for it. It was a great deal. And I bought it in like maybe 6 or 7 months ago, but I knew I would use it for my Christmas playpen. So there's definitely deals out there. There's always people selling stuff secondhand, hamster wheels, all this stuff. Now that there's been good hamster products on the market for a while now, there's lots of opportunities to buy secondhand, good quality hamster products. And you just want to disinfect them by baking them. I usually bake at a low temp, like 200 degrees for 20 minutes or so. So lots of opportunities there. The one warning I would have if you're going to shop for things on, Goodwill, like let's say a Pyrex dish, you want to make sure that there's no handles or any small holes. Hamsters will try to go through a small hole or a handle and they might get stuck. So nothing with handles, nothing with small holes. If you have a Syrian hamster, I would not recommend using glass jars. Those are too small. So you just want to make sure that for Syrian hamsters, you want an opening of about 3 inches. I think 3.5 inches. For dwarf hamsters, 2.5 inches is usually okay. So just something to keep your head around, but use your best logic. Look at your hamster, look at the opening. You don't want your hamster to get stuck. Yeah, that can be dangerous. Other questions that I get, let me look at my list here. Oh, right, of course, photos. So you can see my messy bun and my camera there that I am taking photos using a pretty nice camera. I got this camera secondhand. I'm a super fan of buying things secondhand. I get all my hamsters secondhand too. So this camera I got from a website called, it's like KEH, and it's a Canon, what is it? I forgot. Hold on a second. Oh, right. Okay. It's a Canon 5D Mark III. So it is not a new camera. It's not fancy. It was fancy in its time, but it's definitely been a while. So I got this camera secondhand. I got a great deal. And I also bought a 50mm lens for it. I basically learned basic camera stuff using some Reddit camera groups and watching YouTube videos. I'm definitely no expert. You're about to see Dexter. He gets a little stressed out, so this might be helpful to see. I'm not a camera expert, but I'm learning as I go. But yeah, investing in the camera was really great for me. I really enjoy taking photos of my hamsters. And the reason you see that pretty much all my photos that I post are of my hamsters in their playpen is because I don't like to bother my hamsters too much in their enclosures. That's their personal space. If they want to come out, I bring them out. But if they're out and about, I might try to snap a photo, but their cages aren't really well lit. That's on purpose. I give them their privacy. I don't put a bunch of lights on them. And even in the playpen, it's low lighting. I don't have overhead lights on. I just have the twinkle lights. So it's just sort of soft lighting and, hopefully approachable. So just to interrupt my flow here, you can see that, that Dexter is he's a little bit more frantic than usual. Yeah, so I took him out just after this. He's definitely smelling lemonade and is like, who's been here? Anyway, those are all of my Christmas playpen thoughts. Let me know your questions. Would love to hear from you. And thank you as always for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.